What's good, superstars? Back with another digital collectibles video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Bones in the building. How's it going, Bones?
Good. How are you?
Oh, man.
Look at this. Oh, I'm winning. I won.
Oh,
I won this time. I finally won a battle. Finally.
I was jumping into it and you punched me across as I was jumping. It was like perfect timing. There was no lag on your screen. I mean, that's why you were so good at the Cryptoys Classic game. You got that high level internet. Guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post about digital collectibles. And if you spent and wasted all your money on them, we're going to get into that at the end of the video. But first, we have to talk about the Superstar VIP program. Make sure you guys hit that join button underneath the video. $2.99 a month. You're going to get a star next to your name. You're going to level up, get more and more entries as you level up into the SUP, running at the end of every single month. We got great prizes coming and we changed it up. And I mean, this month there's been a ton of support. Shout out Crypto Dragon, who came through on a live stream. And there's just been others joining the program. So thank you guys so much. And we're definitely going to try and make it worth it for those of you. And also like buying the Cryptoys with our link. There's so many things. If you want to follow us, X, Instagram, Discord in the description. That is where you're going to let us know all the entries that you've done for the SUP. To enter, become a VIP member. We just talked about it. Mint Cryptoys with our link. We are ambassadors for Cryptoys. If you hit the link in the description, you buy a Cryptoy. If you're going to buy one anyway, might as well use that because you will get entries into our giveaway or sweepstakes. But 1 star if you buy one. But if you max mint, a lot of people have been max minting. I don't know if you guys know this. If you max mint, you buy 5. Even if you don't buy them all in the same transaction, let us know. If you buy 5, we'll give you 7 entries into the giveaway. Or if you want to buy merch, we got the best hats in the game. If you don't win, don't worry about it. We will make sure that half of your entries move on to next month. We are trying to incentivize you to win. So if you don't win a couple months in a row, it adds up. I mean, you might have the biggest amount of tickets in the pot, right? So also Starboy holders. I mean, calling Starboy holders. We are in the 30s now, somewhere in the 30s in terms of number of entries for the first round of Who Wants to Be an O Millionaire. We are giving away 1 million OMI. If you have a Starboy and you have not entered round 1, what are you waiting for? Verify your Starboy on our Discord. Discord link is in the description. Take a photo or Photoshop a photo or do anything with your Starboy in your city and let us know about it. Talk about it in the Superstar or in the Starboy NFT chat. It comes up. That chat will pop up only after you verify. You'll see it. You'll see everybody's entries. Let us know about your place, where you live, and you'll be entered. The first 50 people will move on to round 2. If there's not 50 people, that's we're going to cap it end of September, and we will be moving. Round 2, round 3, round 4. We'll be moving quickly after that. This is kind of just like we gave a lot of longer time to let people get more familiar with the Discord. Now, once those people are in, everybody knows how it works. It's going to be really quick, and the million OMI will be somebody's very, very #soon. Bones, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. We just came off of the live stream, Cryptoys live stream, when they showed, they did some unboxings, and then they showed the collector's map for the new line, cool. The Disney line, which is a cool map. So it's a cool way to just like track and follow your own collection and to also display it on social media. But you know what? It's going to be cool because when they actually implement something like that in the actual app or the actual website where we can do it too, which I'm sure, I think they mentioned that then in the future it might happen. And then there's an AMA, which might be happening still now with Will. He's doing some hints. There's hints that he is saying he's spilling alpha. He even says that he does it by accident. He's not supposed to, but he's been mentioning a lot of things, a lot of different names of companies over and over again. I don't know if I want to spill some beans there, but just go into the AMA and rehear it. Yeah. Go into it and see if you can catch some things he says, and in the comments maybe.
I tried to ask a couple really tough ones to see what we can get from him, and I feel like he gave some decent answers on some of them. Others he was really, really quiet about, which makes me even more bullish. But definitely go check out that AMA. He was on for like 2 hours. So if you're going for a long drive, if you're going for a cross-country run, if you're going skiing for over an hour, like these are good things you can listen to and learn about the project. The other thing you mentioned, that collector map, I think it's cool. It's cool that they have this physical or the downloadable thing that you can go and mark up yourself. But yeah, I think it's going to be a game changer when you bring it into the app. And I think it's got to be in the app where you unbox something, it automatically checks it off. Like, I don't know if you have to go in and check it off yourself. It should like be able to read what's in your backpack and then check it off, and you can go check your collector map. Oh, okay, I have these ones, and less work for the user. It's always better, right?
Yeah, and they also said, they hinted that on the side they have whenever the skins you have. So I think like if you have one skin which is one different collectible, you're like a dabbler, and then you have like 2 and 3 you're different. Apparently those having just those different skins, not even the same tier, but having different skins from anything, as long as you have different variety, it's going to get you some sort of collector patch or some sort of something special. So
they didn't elaborate on what it will be, but just owning a certain number of them could mean something. I mean, it's like, look at the Star Boys. We had a leaderboard and it meant something. So maybe they just saw that and they're like, you know what, we got to do this starting now. So who knows?
And you know what? I actually can't believe that there's only 30 people that have entered into that Millionaire competition.
Out of 91, there are 93. You know what? The numbers are increasing of people who have Starboy. So people are realizing the utility. It's just, I don't know if they're understanding that there's going to be 1 million OMI given away.
Yeah.
We have 8 days. I mean, 8 days left. If you have not verified on the disc, maybe there's some people who don't want to verify. They're nervous about verifying the wallet, but this is the way we have to do it and make sure we have legitimate people holding and not just saying they're holding. Okay, let's pull up the news. That was a great introduction. Yesterday, did a great video. Great, fantastic, amazing video. It was called "Did You Waste Your Money on Your Digital Comics?" We had great comments, lots of people mad. That's how you know we did a good video on how passionate the community is. Lots of comments about, well, what about collectibles then? Why don't you compare them to physical values? And that made me think, like, you know what? Great video idea. Did you waste your money on digital collectibles? We could get right into that. McFarlane, Vio Marsala put this out. I don't know if you saw this, but if you are in McFarlane Toys Digital, they are going to be releasing like a new home space, which will be the garage. And this looks pretty sick, eh?
That it looks cool because it makes you think about other vehicles that could come. Maybe other different types of Batmobiles. Maybe the what's it called, the jet. Also, the like kind of Batwing. Any all sorts of, maybe I was also thinking about maybe they would do like brand name cars that Bruce Wayne had in the movies. They could do something like that as well. That would be cool. Maybe
what if these doors open? Imagine these doors like open. And
the doors exactly. Maybe like the jet, maybe the invisible jet, Wonder Woman's jet. Right. So like there's like a lot of DC characters with vehicles that I'm thinking about. This is a cool space for sure. This is going to be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? And who knows what other IP they will get. I mean, if you look at their actual toy lineup, they have a ton of different IP. Right now, obviously, they have the DC and the McFarlane brands. But, I mean, curious to see what other vehicles they get for sure. Speaking of vehicles, DG Vet did a great
cool
showroom picture. This gives you an idea of the quality. Like, this looks like a movie to me.
Yeah, this is super cool. And I actually did a post, too, about the inside of the vehicle. Because it actually looks really cool inside that car. It's pretty detailed, and I didn't think it was that detailed inside the Batmobile.
Nice. I haven't put it in the showroom yet. I haven't had the minute to do that. But I saw you posted one of the light shining on the Todd. Is that light always on when you put it on? Is there any interaction with the collectible or no?
No, yeah. So you have the headlights, and then you have the back red lights. Those lights are always on. Right now, you can't adjust it or anything, but they're always on. Yeah. Okay, and it looks really cool, like the actual lighting. Like we know that Trevor talked about the lighting. Yeah. It changes the lighting in the whole showroom, so you can kind of light up things. So you could actually use those headlights in different types of scenes, even if you don't want to show the Batmobile, to kind of light up like a collectible in like a certain.
It lets you know that it's possible. So maybe like we know, like going back to VeVe, we know that we have the bat signal. So now that we see that you can light up stuff with a Batmobile, it means that is possible to see potentially in the future from that bat signal, right? Maybe in the VeVeVerse have the same kind of effect where it turns on and shoots a light beam out.
For sure.
Just depends on what the medium that it's on. If you guys aren't already, make sure you're following Mr. Bones. Look out for those 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern posts. He has been covering the entire Cryptoys white paper and any news that's been coming out. Why don't you talk about this one, since this is your post?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. What did I talk about here? The collector's map. Yeah, so this was what happened today, pretty much. The collector's map at 8 o'clock. What was it, 8 o'clock? Yeah, we had the collector's map and some unboxing. Some ambassadors came on to unbox some things, and with some really good pulls. We had some good pulls. It was really cool to see. Dr. Strange, he's the newest ambassador, was on there too. So it was cool to see him. And yeah, it was a good time. And then it might still be on now, but there's an AMA at 9 that happened, PM Eastern with Will.
It's done.
Yeah. Okay. They're asking all sorts of questions. Maybe some alpha was spilled. We don't know for sure, but Will likes to, tease us with some, certain things. So go and watch that or listen to that if you haven't already.
It's right here, and you can record an hour and a half. They answered questions for an hour and a half. Even Freddie came up for a little bit at the end there. So definitely go check it out. We asked a couple questions. If you want to see what we asked, you have to go click it in and find out. That's the live stream. Also, if you want to go watch it, it is on their YouTube channel. This was really cool, and like we're very humbled and honored by this. If you guys don't know, Jag, great artist in the VeVe community. You can see our little logo there on the balloon. We are being held by Minnie Mouse. I mean, so Superstar Money being held by the Disney leaders there. And he's got the VeVe with the sparkles. I mean, just incredible artwork. And you know that he's going to come out with something for like digital release on this that he's going to make into NFT or some kind of thing. He's been doing that. He's very innovative in that way. He's been doing NFT projects for a while, and just really big community guy. Does a lot for the community. So really appreciative to be included in this. And yeah, just check it out. It looks sick.
So that's really cool. I actually have one of his NFTs, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I actually won one of the competitions, Twitter competition. So I have the Mario. That's kind of like, it kind of looks like the Elmon X kind of picture, and it's 3D, kind of what VeVe Arcade did too with his Wolverine. I think it's called the Hodler, but it's Mario.
The Bitcoin, right?
Yep, and he's like punching the coin. Really cool. So I won one of those on his Twitter giveaway a little while ago. Cool, nice. Really cool. He does great artwork, and I love that he included you guys inside this one.
I mean, awesome. I would not expect anything less than the Juju Ambassador winning a giveaway. Speaking of other NFT projects, we got Biscuits, who has the Bitcoin Trolls. Actually, ended up figuring out how to buy one of those. That was my first Ordinal, getting one of those. But just came up as an ad on my Facebook. I think it's cool that Mattel is sponsoring advertising that helps non-Web3 people understand the way virtual collectibles work. The masses still don't seem to be interested. So put out this little advertisement, and it's teaching people how to buy their Mattel creations. And some of the comments, I mean, maybe these are going to be screenshots we look back on in 5 years and laugh at. I mean, we all know about the Bitcoin pizza, right?
No, for sure. And that's one thing I haven't got into is Ordinals and anything with Bitcoin, which, I've always wanted to check out and look into. Yeah, you said you finally bought something.
I figured it out. Yeah, I had the hardest part was converting what I already had, because obviously loaning anything to make crypto is a little bit annoying. So I wanted to use my Matic, and I wanted to figure out how to flip it there. Actually, you helped me out. You helped me find that website to swap it. So that was easy, because then there was like no bridging or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that website's great because there's no wallet connect. You literally it is called
Simple Swap or something.
Simple Swap, yeah, I think it's called Simple Swap. I looked at it and I used it for Matic, which is great. Yeah, Simple Swap, and you don't even have to connect a wallet. You literally send your token to an address they give you, and then you can even do, which is good. Yeah, and if you do if you look at the additional pull down menu. If there's an issue, they resend it back to your wallet if there is something that happened. But yeah, you send it to their wallet, they flip it for you, and then they send it back. So there's no wallet connection, which is fantastic. And apparently the fees are really low, right?
Yeah, I didn't notice anything crazy, so it was cool. And I mean, the bridging is always the most scary part for me, because whenever you do that, you lose it for a little bit, and then it ends up coming back. For this, I felt like it was almost instantaneous. So they must have like a stockpile of Bitcoin, a stockpile of Matic, and then it just boom, boom, bam. Like you look, it's there. Bitcoin's a little slower. Everybody knows that. If you've ever dealt with Bitcoin, it takes more time to verify on the blockchain. But I don't know what to expect from it. I'm just happy to support another creator in the space.
Nice.
This was very cool. Yesterday we had Pyron reach out about his giveaway win from the VeVe competition, the VeVe sweepstakes. So we actually, I reached out to Eagle Eyes in the Discord because I know that he's very involved with the giveaways, and he definitely he got it done right away. I mean, Pyron even tweeted out that he got his collectible. So shout out to VeVe. I know Ryan even responds. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Eagle Eyes for taking care of Pyron. Today, right now, I think this is happening. It's the kid's birthday live stream. Shout out to Hanano and D and the kid. Hopefully we can get in there if it's not too late. But I mean, happy birthday, and I hope that you get an Ultra Grail. I know you're unboxing some cubes, so can't wait to see what you pull.
And that's the whole reason for Cryptoys too, is to have fun with family and friends. So it's great that they have their kid involved in doing the unboxing, and everyone's enjoying it and having fun. So this is what it's all about.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, this is also pretty cool. So Fiches is I guess Brock from Brock is obviously the creator of Fiches, and VeVe is doing a collab with them. So if you want to learn about that, there will be a live stream on VeVe Magic's channel, and they'll be having I guess a discussion about maybe how he got involved and all this stuff. I mean, we all know that it's been around for a while. It's been involved even with Omi. So now to see him getting a chance on the big stage shows that VeVe is willing to do things with like individual creators and even community members. So really, really happy to see this. And it's just the beginning of the next steps, I guess. If you are creative, they might potentially partner with you if it makes sense.
No, it's super cool that they're actually doing this with a different project. I haven't gone to Fiches. Is Fiches? Yeah. Fiches? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Fiches, yeah.
Fiches, yeah. Have you, Joe?
No, I haven't gotten one. I know that this project was like bigger last year. And at that point, we were really, really like pigeonholed into centralized NFTs and only on VeVe. It's just until recently when we started to actually spread our wings, look at other projects. And at that point, I guess he hasn't been advertising it as often, or maybe you just haven't seen it. But I mean, it's cool. It's obviously been in the background. We've heard about it from time to time. And I know that he's done a bunch of free giveaways and stuff like that. So this entry point, I think, if you already have one, there's some way to get in if you own a fiche. I forget the actual rules, but I'm sure they'll talk about it on this live stream.
Yeah, I think it was like you get like a promo code. They'll like send you a promo code by like a certain time, and then you can put the promo code inside the VeVe app, and then you can just redeem the collectibles. And it's cool. Like that promos that project. So, and some people, for sure are going to buy one to get a collectible in VeVe as well. Right. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. So
some collabs. Yeah, some decent collabs. One with Mumbot, who's a prominent artist.
Yes.
Who was at Decon. So really, really cool. This one here. Superstar Money colors, of course. What else would she use?
Yeah.
And also shout out to Skin and Bones. They're also doing their own NFT collection. Cool. Their logo over here, very clean. Nice reflection on that gold one. So if you want to support them, you can go to their collection. I retweeted it for them.
Very cool.
This is the one that Pyron ended up getting. So he ended up getting the Tinkerbell trapped in a lantern. And he's saying, thank you, Superstar Money and Eagle Eye. So, I mean, VeVe took care of him. So very happy.
Nice.
Again, Real Uncommon Podcast. Finally, they're premiering tomorrow. Their interview with Guri. I cannot wait for this. And I know teased us hard, but there will be no more teasing after tomorrow. Definitely want to check that one out.
Yeah, it's actually been a while since I think they did like an actual Unreal, like the Real Unreal podcast, like interview, because they've been doing the live streams almost every night. So now they're going back to their roots, right?
Yeah, they're teasing roots.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if you want to buy a Cryptoy, if you haven't bought one, again, end of Sunday will be the end of the buy one, get one. If you are going to do that, the link is at the top of our profile on X. It is also in the description of every video. It supports the channel. And I mean, you get entered into the SUP giveaway at the end of the month. So why not get that extra utility using the link? Let us know you used it on Discord. Okay. That's a lot of news, a lot of intro.
Yeah.
Let's get back into it. It is, did you waste your money on digital collectibles, on your digital collectibles? There's a lot to this. There's a lot to unpack. Yesterday, we did a video about if you wasted your money on digital comics. We gave a lot of reasons about why maybe we did, maybe we didn't. There are maybe we should be just looking at the space completely different and looking at certain comics rather than looking at other comics. We created a buzz. There's lots and lots of conversation in the description. That was the whole point of the video. Really happy to see everybody's comments and what you guys had to say. Still don't know if I'm fully convinced on all comics. I think that there are certain ones that will carry more weight, but I think it is also it's like in the eye of the beholder, right? I mean, there's certain people who will value certain things and other people will value other things, and I think that's what we saw from the comments. So I think it was a good discussion. Bones, what did you think of yesterday's video?
No, it's a great discussion because I like to see both sides, right? You don't want to just hear all the good things and that's it. You want to hear the good things and the bad things, and that's how you make an educated decision on investments and collecting. At the end of the day, if you like collecting it, great. If you're doing it for an investment, then maybe that's a little bit more research you have to go into to look. So to look at both sides of the spectrum is fantastic. And that's why never listen to just one YouTuber or one person or just one article. You gather all the information and then you make the educated decision on your own with everything. So.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a part of it, right? We like to put out things to make you think, It's something to make you think, because maybe you didn't think that way before. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
this is not something that you've thought of before. And sometimes like that, this was sparked by the other video that we did about comics, and like people left comments and we thought about, oh, you know what? Now I think this. So, I mean, if we can spark you to think in a certain way, we're all defining this space together. And to say that it has to be one way, I think is kind of naive. I think that there are different ways that this could go. And I think that, yeah, like Bone said, you got to take in all the information and then kind of determine, and we're going to all determine it together, how this space moves forward. So one of the comments that we got, and again, this is why we do it. One of the comments was, well, how about physical collectibles that VeVe has, or comparing collectibles that exist physical and real life? And I mean, we know that even McFarlane, they have the Todd Year 2. It moves a little bit in the digital, but it's a replica kind of thing of the physical. I want to start off by saying, like, even like obviously the black and white series on VeVe is modeled after physicals. I don't get the same vibe from the community in terms of them looking at real world value when it comes to collectibles as I get from them looking at real world value when it comes to comics. And I think that was my biggest gripe, and that's what I was trying to explain yesterday. I don't know if it came off correctly, but I just want people to have like a more of a not tailored, but like understanding that what we're the comparables of the comic, maybe the real world comic that you're comparing it to might not be the perfect comparable. Maybe it will be a replica of that comic, or maybe like just sentiment of that comic compared to other comics. That might be the best way to look at it. Like, okay, this comic is worth more than this comic IRL. Not necessarily that this digital comic will be worth as much as those IRL comics, but just to give you like that difference. Maybe that's the way you look at the IRL versus the digital for comics. But when it comes to physicals, like, I don't think I've heard once anybody mention, oh, that Batman statue in real life's worth 400, so this one should be like worth 300. I haven't had that connection between the physical and the digital when it comes to collectibles. How about you, Bones? Have you had that?
It's the same thing. And I think that with the comic situation, it's easy to look at the real world value and then judge what the value is gonna be. I think in this space going forward, I think even if something is worth higher than maybe something else, maybe that something else will be worth more digitally because of the significance on the blockchain, or significance with how it came out, in regards to if it was like the first drop on the platform, and if it was like, or FA on the blockchain. So there's a lot of factors involved. In regards to collectibles, I never said, oh, like you said, that collectible is worth this amount and I'm going to go for it. I think it was an afterthought, though, with the whole black and white situation. I like all the black and whites, so went for all the drops, and then I looked at it afterwards. You know what I mean?
Know it existed,
no, I didn't even know it existed. And then after, because I always shop at like GameStop and EB Games, and then after I bought them, I would go in and be like, hold on, wait a second. All these things are here after the fact. So yeah, going into the whole collectible situation, I never looked at real world value, because most of the things, there really isn't a statue. There might be in like the Disney store or something, but you don't even think about it. So no, I think it's like a whole different ball game. And then again, with collectibles, I think a lot of the times we hope for utility. We really do hope for utility, opposed to comics, as we just hope that it's worth what it's worth in the real world. So there's two different types of things. Now, I'm going to go with like the Marvel Mighties and stuff, because the Marvel Mighties, the reason why a lot of people bought them more so is because they hope for utility in regards to gamification. And then it kind of got stomped. I know there's like the whole Reese AMA that you guys had. He kind of like almost stomped it, sort of saying how like it is what it is. What they have is what comes out is what it is, in order to gamify it. And we see it with Cryptoys too, because they're built game ready. These skeletons are on VeVe are not built game ready, so they'd have to go back, and to do it is like a huge endeavor for sure. So I think that really hurt the collectibles, which is a shame, because I like those style of collectibles. Even if they're not gamified, I still like them. But the prices that we bought them at last year were pretty high, and that just it makes me think about going into buying collectibles in large amounts because it's cheaper now. You know, if you like it and you believe in it, that it's gonna increase in value, or you like the collectible because of what it is, then collect it. But in regards to making money later on, we should really be careful, because of all the mints and all the drops that are coming out in large amounts, sometimes 3 drops a week on VeVe, it's going to come to a point where we already have like millions of mints almost. There's going to be like billions of mints, right? In the next years, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to be possible that some of these items, right, are going to be $1. And it might happen that they're going to be $1 to $5. And if the Marvel Mighties are not gamified, it is possible that some of those Marvel Mighties might be $1 because the market's going to be so saturated. So that Red Skull that I paid 600 or 700 gems for might be 5 gems, right? So you just have to be careful for sure.
I mean, Rob's always been calling out the $1 comics. Bones might be the $1 collectible guy after this video,
which I'm not. Which I hope it doesn't happen, right?
No,
but I'm just making us think about it, just to prepare ourselves. I always prepare myself for any money I put in here. I just think of it as gone. But obviously, I want to make money. And then anything I make is a blessing, and I'm just here to collect and have fun. But you just have to be careful with what you put in, and don't put in anything you can't put in.
So yesterday we did the comic video, and one of the big opinions that we had on there was that these comics are not the actual first appearance of that character in the world. Like that, I think, is what drives most of the value for some of these real world comics. Now, if you're using them as comparables and say, like I said, to see which one's worth more than the other, maybe that's a fair assessment. But to say that the first or AF-15 is going to be worth $3 million on VeVe, I don't think that's a fair assessment because of what the AF-15 physical book actually represented. It actually represents the first ever time that we saw Peter Parker, first ever time that we saw Spider-Man ever in any format anywhere. So that, I think, holds higher level value. And that's what the point of that video was. But when you come to the digital collectibles, there are a lot of first times that we see characters in this way. I mean, look at Electro. We've never seen Electro in this way until VeVe. You know what I mean? So that is a first appearance of Electro in this way. There are the way that they are represented could be said to be unique in 3D digital collectible format. It's different. It's not. Some of them are not representative of physical statues like we see with the Batman black and whites are, but there are other ones that are created by VeVe artists, by the teams that they hire. They might say, do a pose like this, do a pose like that. They might not be created after an existing thing. So in that way, they're FA and they're also unique creations, which I think is something that kind of makes the collectibles a little bit different because they might be exclusive to VeVe, and that pose or this way that this thing looks, the only place you can get it is on VeVe. So I think that carries some weight. It's true.
And you got to think too, is that like for the short term, in order for these collectibles, I think, to reach like the next echelon, is the VeVeVerse. Is the VeVeVerse in regards to like utility, because like that's what's going to ultimately make you want to buy certain items that you're going to be able to use. Now, if the VeVeVerse never came out, and then these are just statues, these are just collectibles, short term, these things, would they go up in value? Who knows? It would almost take like more people to come into the space and see them. Because like if they were just collectible statues, like I like them. I think they're great. That's the whole reason. I didn't really know that about this crazy VeVeVerse when I first came into the space. I just liked collecting what with like the golden moments, and it was cool. But possibly in the future when more people come in and VeVeVerse never created and was never even a thing or never even came out, more people come in and then you'll see the collectibles, then it would raise in value. But I think for the short term, and for long term, for the VeVeVerse, like we need to have these collectibles do something in order for people to think that it's worth something, I guess, right?
And that in itself will create its own value. And we didn't mention that yesterday's video, and I thought about it actually as we were preparing for this one, is that they could say, if you own this comic, now you can have entered into Spider-Man land. Like you have to own an AF-15. It could start to have its own utility and start to be unique from IRL comics and bring its own different spin if utilities are added to holding those comics. And same thing for collectibles. And I think that's another reason why collectibles aren't looked at in the same way, same type of comparison, because we have those expectations for some kind of utility one day, at least maybe through token gating or some other way with the collectibles, more so than the comics, I would think. I mean, comics in the VeVeVerse, again, what are we going to use them for? Maybe wallpaper, maybe who knows? Maybe people are going to go and chill out and read comics together. I don't know what's going to be the popular thing to do there, but I think when it comes to collectibles, I think they have a little bit more creativity that could be unleashed in the VeVeVerse, and if they're able to introduce new types of things, I think utility and gamification could really take collectible values to the next level.
Is the VeVeVerse the only way VeVe will become successful? That's a question.
I think VeVe's got to, if they're putting all their utility eggs in the VeVeVerse basket, I would say yes. If they decide that they want to have utility outside the VeVeVerse and maybe have real world utility, I know everyone says the partner statue enters you into Disneyland or whatever. I don't ever expect that, but if you start to get mainstream and people start to realize like what holding these things could do for you, and if they're able to make that happen and bridge that gap and show people in the real world what the importance of blockchain technology and ownership is, I think that yes, if it's going to be isolated to the VeVeVerse, they need the VeVeVerse to be amazing. It needs to be amazing. It needs to be a place people want to be at, and it needs to be fun, right?
So the collectibles are not enough. You know what I mean?
In order for
there needs to be utility in some of these collectibles for it to be successful. So just having these statues, having these cool, because they're really cool. They're really cool. The animations are awesome, but it's not enough, I guess, because we need to have utility. We need to be able to do something with them and not just put them on a shelf or put them in our showroom that we have currently right now. And they could do a lot with VeVeVerse. They could do a lot. They could token gate, again, so many different types of showrooms to just that IP. Again, with races, they can use the cars with races in the sky where cars are flying, right? They can do that. They can do so many things in regards to gamification, with buildings and pictures. And so, yeah, it's gonna be a huge game changer when VeVeVerse does come. Again, I think it's an ambitious project to get that up and running. And I think it has to be functional. It has to be somewhat functional, obviously, when it first comes out, because if it is not, we know that when it comes out, most likely, even with all the beta testing, there's going to be glitches. It happens. It's a new thing, but there has to be, right from the beginning, when it comes out launch, it has to be functional and it has to be working. It has to be fun. If it's not fun, then I think there's going to be an issue for sure. So I think, we don't want to wait longer, because this has been promised for a long time. But I think for this project and for this whole company to grow, they need to take the time and really do a great job in the VeVeVerse so that we can really utilize our collectibles. Or things might just not work out as promised, and we might see more people leave the space, more people leave this project.
Yeah. And and you just nailed it on the head there. We want it to be something that people want to do, want to take part in. But I think it's not just VeVe. That's not just the VeVe statement. That goes for all of these projects. McFarlane, you have the best quality, in my opinion, that I've seen from any project in terms of realism and it's just fantastic. But if there's nothing to do with your collectibles, if there's no utility, if there's not, what's going to bring in the masses? What are people going to be drawn to? And I think VeVe has an opportunity. I do think that they will eventually take that baton and provide what people want to see. And I think the VeVeVerse is a perfect opportunity for that. So hopefully we get to see some type of utility token gating. I think token gating is going to start to open the eyeballs, and then especially if there's like SDKs or type of things like that in the VeVeVerse where people can build their own experiences, and then you can only get in if you hold certain collectibles. I think that's going to be a game changer, because now you can actually use your collectibles to do things, to participate. But I want to bring this up because the amount of comments and Cryptoys hate that we got in yesterday's video, like way too much. And honestly, if you're leaving those comments on a video that had nothing to do with Cryptoys, you got to check yourself in the mirror or whatever, because it has nothing to do with that. But regardless, Cryptoys is in the same boat. They've promised gamification. They've promised a bunch of stuff on their roadmap, and we're going to give them that time because they've given very vague timelines. But we do expect, from what we've seen from the team, for them to deliver on these promises. But they need to make sure that these games are engaging. They have a user base that wants to play the games, that wants to stick around, or else, I mean, that's the whole point. You're building these collectibles. and you want people to want to play with them in your games, in your pocket verses. You want to have things for people to do, and that goes for Cryptoys as well. When we talk about collectibles, when we talk about comics, they don't have comics, so I don't know why there's so many Cryptoys comments on the video.
Yeah, I think especially because with the whole comic situation too is like, I think when new people come into the space and they see comics, it doesn't necessarily have to have utility. They have to see that comic, recognize that comic, be like, oh, I know that comic from the real world. I'm going to buy it. With collectibles, if they come into the space and see that collectible, they're going to be like, oh, that collectible can do this and has this utility. That's when they'll buy it. So that's why there's a little bit of a difference, because when comic book collectors in the digital space, I think they have the upper hand when there's no utility for comic books, no utility for collectibles. I think the comic books will come on top of that just because they're more of a well-known thing, and people will always relate, even though it might not translate, they'll always relate real world value to that comic book. And I think that's what gives it the upper hand in the comics. Again, as time goes on, we don't know that for sure, but I just think, with collectibles, it seems like there has to be some sort of utility and some sort of fun that you can do with it in order for it to reach the next level.
How about the IRL value of wooden dolls that open up? We're gonna save that for we'll save that for another.
That's
video.
Interesting. That is an interesting one. I guess that's a whole new medium, right? Yeah, that's a whole new medium. That's a whole other video, I guess, right? So
again, back to the Cryptoys. I want to talk about this as well because there's another comment. Shout out the Izzo Kid. He asked about how does Cryptoys compare to this whole conversation about the comics and value, real world value and value. Like, I mean, there's no marketplace right now in Cryptoys, so there is no value in anything that you're buying there because you can't sell it. So you can't really sell it for anything. But at the same time, the collectibles being in the cube, being in the package, or being unpackaged, we are expecting, and this has been said by team members, we're expecting each phase to have its own type of utility. Be it if you don't want to unbox your cube, if you want to leave it in the package, and if you want to have them to play games in the pocket versus, we understand that even in the package and even in the cube stage, there's supposed to be some kind of thing you can use those for, and they're building experiences for the different phases. It's not just all the fully unwrapped toys that are going to have that value, I guess.
There's a lot of exciting things that are promised with Cryptoys, and in those different stages, just in your head, you can think of different reasons why you'd want to keep something in a cube, and why you want to keep it in the blister pack, and why you want to take it out. Just in your head, just thinking about where they're going and where they want to go with the future of it. Just to have, collecting the cubes. That's cool to have your own cubes. And then you think about, as things dwindle down and drops come down, and then all of a sudden the drop sells out, and then now you control the experience of that cube.
Nobody can ever do it unless
no one can ever do it again unless you sell that cube to them or someone else does. And then you got to think about the ultra grails, how the numbers will dwindle down, and then they're going to only be in those cubes. Now you could say for sure that, like, okay, if especially with let's say the ZUFO stuff, because each 3 of them are 1 of 1, so there's only 3 ultra grails. If all those 3 ultra grails, I think, are gone, I think those cubes will not be as valuable. It's just a collector's thing and just the way it is. But if there is those ultra grails still out there in the wild, those cubes probably will have some more value. I'm just saying, I would think so. And that's just that's just in regards to value I'm talking about. Now in regards to the utility of the company, there is things that they said that for holding those cubes, there might be incentives for just holding cubes in regards to having patches, in regards, you can just display them in your pocket. When you go into the Cryptoys verse, you'll be able to display cubes. I was thinking about something cool about maybe having a jar, like a glass jar, and then you can fill up the jar with how many cubes, just something cute and something cool like that, which is cool. Like, I like that aesthetic thing. And then on top of it, they're also saying that there might be some sort of utility for just having cubes. There'll be utility maybe, for just having blister packs, and then also for just having the collectibles out in regards to stashing. And that's why I'm not upset about having 5 Vaders, which I have 5 common Vaders, because in regards to stashing, you have 2 NFTs. So there'll be different things to do. You want to play the game, you want to hold one, you want to trade one, you want to stash them so you can collect rewards over time from just accumulation of a thing there. There's a lot of things promised. So it's like the company, it's a toy company, and they're promising it's not just statues of NFTs and that's it. They're promising utility. And this is a utility driven project and a gamified project that you're going to play games and have utility. It's a huge utility-based project, and it's super exciting. And I trust the team. there's no reason for me not to trust the team so far. They've been amazing. They've been fantastic. And I'm so looking forward to Cryptoys in the future because I'm a big gamer. And there's a lot of promises. And I know a lot of people in this space have been let down with a lot of projects, even big IPs. You think that you're safe. You're not safe with big IPs because it's just the nature of the beast. But from the research that I've done, the research that, that I've seen, and the things that in the team, I've met the team on live, and I've talked to them in Discord. Everyone seems super solid, and I have faith in the project, and I'm happy to hold and just keep on collecting.
Yeah, cool. No, I mean, exactly that. So guys, let us know in the comments, what do you think about the digital collectibles? Is it been a fad? Is it passing over? Do you agree with what we said in the video? Do you think that utility is going to govern if they are worthless or not? Do you think that just holding a collectible could be worth something in the future if it does nothing, if the platform does nothing? Do we need to see things that want to keep people on that platform? Gamification, VeVeVerse, are these things that we need to see to stay involved and engaged? I want to know from you guys in the comments, so let us know down there. And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post about your favorite project. And guys, whoever is in the VIP program, thank you so much. If you'd like to join, you can hit the join button on the video, and we'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye.
Bye.